So let me let you know who this is a good fit for, because I'm very clear that the people I want to help and support understand a few simple things. One, you're ready to play a bigger game in life and you want to quit playing small. You're sick of hearing people say things like, we love you, but we just can't pay you. You want success badly and you don't want to be regular or average in anything that you do. And you see money as a byproduct of the value you offer to the world, not your main goal. If helping youth and students is just a money thing for you, you're really, really in the wrong place. Like, really in the wrong place. This has to be something that you're doing because you care, because you love it, and because it's important to you. Now, here's what we're going to cover today. So I want your pens out because we're going to jump into this. We're going to show you how most speakers are repelling potential clients without even knowing it, and specifically what you can do to fix this, okay? We're going to show you how to get clients to practically fall over themselves to want to work with you by positioning yourself as the perfect solution to their most pressing problems. That one's key. You're going to really want to pay attention for number 2, okay? And number 3, I'm going to show you what niches are getting booked the most and for the highest fees at schools and colleges. So you're going to know where to go and how to get there. And I'm going to give you everything I possibly can on this webinar, everything I humanly possibly can. And for those of you who are interested in taking things further, I promise you I'm going to tell you a little bit about something called the True Speaking Success System. It's really going to be for a special group of people that really is saying, I want to make 2018 the best year ever. So I'm going to give you everything I can. I'm going to deliver on all my promises. And for those of you interested, I'm going to show you how we can move from information to transformation. So you got to stay on to the end, okay? I'm going to give you a link for how you can download a list of 19 groups that are booking speakers right now at high fees. I'm going to give you a link, you download it, you'll have all the information, and these book tens of thousands of events throughout the year. Okay, so it's pretty sweet list that you're going to get, so make sure to be here for that. Let's jump into it. What is the biggest problem you have in your speaking business? What do you think it is? What I genuinely believe is that your biggest problem is always the problem that you don't know you have. It's your blind spots. Think about it for a second. If you know there's a problem, you can fix it. But if you think you're doing everything right that you're supposed to do, but it's actually not right, you're going full force in the wrong direction. It's like you're running in the opposite direction of the sunset, wondering why you don't see the sun. And I see so many speakers make these common errors. They think they're supposed to do a certain way of being because they see other speakers on the internet doing it, so they copy it, or they see certain celebrities do it and they copy it, but they don't understand the rules behind it. For example, doing the same marketing strategy as Coca-Cola isn't really a good strategy for a small business, because Coca-Cola could throw millions, if not billions of dollars into advertisement that's just like, drink Coca-Cola. Small business owners, we can't do that. We can't throw a bunch of money into ads like that. We need things to convert and change. So if you're a big time speaker, and you don't need to, do any kind of conversions because your brand is so big, you can just focus on brand building. You may copy that strategy and think it's the right thing, but it's absolutely the wrong thing for you to be doing right here. And a lot of speakers do that with their brand because they believe they need to basically shout that they're the best thing since sliced bread. Go to any speaker, like, I don't want to say any, that's not true because some people know what they're doing, but a lot of speakers, if you go to their websites, it is the complete wrong messaging because what they're trying to do is convince the person on the website, look how great I am, look how awesome I am, look at how much I know, look how fantastic I am, you should bring me in to speak. Because they think, well, I'm the speaker, I'm the brand, so I need to tell them why my brand's so amazing, and it's a mistake. So these are some things that I've pulled from actual speakers' websites. Now, some of these things you'll see, by the way, the good news is it's one of the people who I chose. Actually, I've worked with him, he's changed his stuff around, and it's been really, really effective. And some people, they're just people I pulled off the internet, and they're probably never gonna get this information, so they're probably still never gonna get the life that they want. Okay, so the first one, let's just move this video over here. All right. So it says, Carlos is a very passionate and ambitious young educator. Time, effort, and heart is put into what he does. Carlos constantly aspires to improve his ability to inspire those that cross his path. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. See if you notice the theme here, okay? Steve is a leadership development and empowerment speaker who has followed his passion to help others through the gifts of speaking and writing. Are you noticing a pattern, folks? Let's do one more. I was really encouraged to hear that, but I didn't know what to do with it until now. I have realized that my happiness and fulfillment on the job, no matter what the job was about, was a gift that I can teach to others. What's the challenge here? There's a huge focus on why they're so great. And here's the truth. Ain't nobody care about you. I don't want to sound disrespectful. You can think I'm not sounding disrespectful when I say it. People don't book me to speak because they think I think so highly of myself. People book me and the people who I work more closely with because they know how to serve others. They move from being I-centered to being results-centered, right? You want to move into a place where you're consciously spending most of your time, effort, and energy talking about the benefits that you will provide for your clients. Now, in your bio section, obviously you talk about yourself, right? Like you're supposed to in the bio section. But besides that, you want to move everything you do, whether you're talking about yourself, whether you're talking about what you do, to be results-centered. So for me, if I talk about the fact that I grew up in the projects on welfare in Brooklyn, but then I end there, like it's silly. But if I said, hey, I grew up in the projects on welfare in Brooklyn, I learned strategies that I'm going to share with you that will work for you because they're effective. I'm not special. These will work and I've discovered them and I want to share them with you. Like that talks about my story, but it focuses it more on the end result, the results. So I'll give you an example of some language that I use during one of my leadership development talks. So it says, so many student leaders are thrown into a student group and are basically told, go do it, but have no idea what to actually do. The leadership skills one gains while a student leader are the crucial skills that are applicable in the real world. Teaching them the skills they need to be as successful as a student leader and as a professional is what student leadership development is really all about. We show them how to do this in a fun, engaging, aha-inducing way. This focus is all about them. It's showing I understand their pain, I understand their plight, I understand where they are, and I'm going to show you what it's really about and how you can do it when you book me to speak. So, I want you to start with a different lens. Go through your websites, go through your email campaigns, go through your marketing materials, and ask yourself, how much am I trying to hype myself up? And how much am I focusing on the results I'm going to produce when they book me to speak? If you want a rule of thumb, you should focus on the client everywhere except your bio. That's the rule of thumb. Don't talk about how you have this. I hear people always talk about like, I have this gift for speaking and people just find themselves attracted to me. And every time I open my mouth, the world listens and I'm here to share my gift with you. So book me to speak so I can bring my gifts that God has given and bestowed upon me to your group for a high fee. Would you book me if I talk like that? Would you? George, would you? Eileen, does that sound like something that's exciting to you? No, it doesn't. It definitely does not. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. The thing is, when we hear it, it makes our skin crawl. But for some reason, when we do it, we're like, I'm building really good credibility right now. I want you to focus on, and literally, I want you to do this. I do this actually. I write emails. Whenever I write an email to a client or I'm writing a marketing email of some sort, I'll write it. And then when I'm done, I'll look at it and I'll ask myself, am I using the word I too much? Am I focusing too much on myself and not on them? I still do this to this day. Like there's just this natural urge to talk about ourselves. And for any of you who think, oh, I know this, I don't do it. I bet you if you sent me your stuff, I'd pick it apart. I bet you. I bet you could pick it apart now. If you just look at it with these fresh eyes, and say, okay, if I was about to send an email to someone, let me write it and then read it through and see how much you focus on yourself and not on showing them you understand them, showing them what their pain points are, how you can solve them, the results you'll create after you speak. If you start speaking and putting your brand into that place, you're going to start pulling people to say, I want you, instead of repelling them. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. If you focus on yourself and not on the results that you will bring, you're gonna bang your head against the wall, okay? So focus on that. Now, let's go to number 2, okay? Was that good so far, by the way? And I encourage you, seriously, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Look at anything you've put together or anything you're about to put together, or think about when you're on the phone with people, and just become present to how much you're talking about yourself versus them. Pay attention now, okay? It's about to get good. All right, this is the one. I love this one. This is the key to getting booked, okay? This is the key to getting booked. All right, here we go. Now, who here has ever had a headache? Like, run of the mill, I got this headache, it's bothering me. One of the things that you do is you take aspirin, right? You might drink some water, right? Like, oh, I'm dehydrated. So a headache is something that bothers you. It's a pain. You have a pain. You don't like it. And you want to get rid of it, okay? I get it. That makes perfect sense. Now, let me ask some of y'all. So some people drink tea, exercise, drink almond milk. I never tried that one. Thank you, Anthony. I will try some almond milk, right? Has anyone here ever had or been around someone when they've experienced a migraine? A migraine, for those of you who don't know, very different than a headache. Anyone ever have it? It's very different. A migraine is everything stops, right? You go into a blank room with no sound, no smells, no light, nothing, and you just wait. You will want to rip your head off. Like, it's a pounding, and I've never had a migraine, thank God, but my mother has. And I've seen what they've done, and I've just like, yo, I don't even know what that's like. Like, I mean, you can't, like, if you went like, they'd be like, ah! I mean, it's blank check. I mean, I've heard of people shooting Botox into their head, taking unregulated FDA non-approved pills just to like get the pain away. The difference between a headache and a migraine is astronomical, because a headache is a pain, but you can kind of deal with it. A migraine, you'll do anything to get rid of that pain. What I want you to start asking yourself with your speaking and your offerings, are you addressing a headache level pain, or are you addressing a migraine level pain for your potential clients, specifically in schools and colleges? If you don't know what the migraine level pains are for these people, I'm going to share them with you, and I would encourage you to start looking at how what you do ties into it. Now, you may talk about 1,000 different things, which is fine, but you have to position what you're doing to solve migraine level pains. And when you do that, when you position it to migraine level pain, that's when people start coming to you. That's when people start finding you. That's when people start talking about you. And it may not necessarily mean you have to necessarily change anything that you want to speak about. It's not like you have to come up with new content. It's just making sure your content is addressing and packaged in a very specific way is the key. So this is going to be really fun. You guys ready? Give yourself a self clap, which is the high five, but you're by yourself, so just do it. If you did it, just write high five in the comments so I know y'all still with me. Hope none of you are checking Facebook or jumping on Instagram, be like, ooh, let me hit up PerezHilton.com real quick, though. Like, don't do that. Stay focused, because this is going to change your 2018. I need you to be here with me, okay? So everybody focus in. Look at me. Look at the face. Look at the screen. Thank you. Everybody's doing it. All right, I'm seeing the high fives rolling. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's talk about migraine level pains for K through 12. So K through 12 is going to be your high schools, your middle schools, okay? These are the 3 things that if what you talk about addresses it, you are going to find you're speaking their most painful migraine level language. First one is if you can decrease dropout rates. Second one is if you can increase graduation rates. And the third one is if you can improve test scores. Now, let me focus on this, right? Let's say you deal with bullying, okay? So that's great. bullying is a huge problem, so you do anti-bullying. That's great. But if you can address how this anti-bullying program is going to decrease dropout rates, because students are going to feel like, well, I don't want to leave school anymore. Okay, great. So they're not going to drop out. You can increase graduation rates. They'll be excited about it. Absolutely. Suicide's a big topic tomorrow, right? Like talking about that, because what does that do? Well, if there's suicide, morale is down. People are obviously getting put. Imagine a school, like God forbid, hopefully none of you know this firsthand, but unfortunately it happens in the news so much. And I know a speaker friend of mine, that's all he speaks about is suicide prevention, right? Because it happens so often, unfortunately. But if you can talk about how this is going to change the culture of the school, that's going to create a safe environment, dropout rates will decrease, graduation rates will increase. That's very important. It may sound like so simplistic to just add those little lines, but it's overly powerful because schools are graded on these three things above everything else. Test scores up, graduation rates up, decreased dropout rates. If you can show somehow how what you're doing connects to that, now they're talking, I like what you're talking about here. You're talking my language. This is what's up. Now, there may be, like, these are black and white, right? There may be so many shades of gray in between it, but you're going to want to kind of figure out how what you do directly addresses these particular migraine level pains. So you could take something like, for example, mindfulness, right? Let's say you teach mindfulness, right? Now, you would have to obviously make that simplistic enough for a high school student to understand, but maybe you can talk about mindfulness and maybe change the language so that it doesn't sound so kind of new agey, and say how to consciously increase your grades through our unique 3-step system. And maybe all you're doing is creating a mindfulness, like saying, hey, where do you want to be in the future? What do you want to create? What's important to you? Work backwards to today. How do you improve that today? Well, what can you control today? You can control your test grades. You get good test grades. What happens in the future? Let's be mindful of how the actions we take affect us. Now, you're talking about the stuff you love, but you're connecting it from the school perspective, because I want you to remember this is very important. Very important, okay? Lock in. Seriously, look at me. Look at me. Very important. Even though you're speaking to the students, the schools are the ones booking you and paying you. So you could talk about I got these cool dance moves, this lead, I can do all of this fun stuff, I can do all that stuff, and the students may love it, but that's not what the schools want to pay for. So you have to make sure your message is engaging for the student, but you're speaking the migraine pains of the institutions who are going to write the checks, because the reason they're writing these checks is because these pains are so big for them. So that's K through 12, okay? Is that helpful, by the way? Can anyone see how what you're doing fits into these? Right? Let me know. Like, I can't see you, so you got to communicate in the chat with me, people, okay? Very important. Communicate in the chat. All right. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Appreciate y'all. Now, let's talk about college, okay? 3 things. I want you to remember this. People don't like saying this, but you got to get this. I got you, okay? Colleges and universities, they're institutions of education, for sure. They're businesses, right? Do you have to pay to go to college? Pretty much, right? If you want to get a degree. So think of them as businesses. There's 3 things that are going to be really important to them, right? Keep students paying, increase the university's reputation somehow, decrease institutional black eyes. I'll break down what all of these are. If you want to speak to colleges, whatever your content is for the college university market, if you can keep students paying, okay, they're happy. Now, I wouldn't say that. This is important about this one. It's the unwritten rule. It's the handshake language. You're not going to say, hey, guys, bring me in to speak because I'm going to keep your students paying tuition for the next 3 years. Like, they'll be like, ew, that's dirty. It's the weirdest thing. It's like everyone knows this is the game, but people don't want to talk about it, right? Right, Tamara, retention. That's the word you want to use. So we're going to help students persist. So persist means go from first year to second year to third to fourth, right? Persist, retention, engagement. That's big. That's why universities spend so much money on student engagement. Huge. Think about it. Any of you who went to college, Didn't your university bring in magicians and comedians and bands and speakers? And they brought in all of these different people because they want you to be engaged on campus. Because study after study proves the more a student is engaged on the college campus, the more they're willing to stay. If they make friends, they're willing to stay, right? Yeah, Davik, your school brought me in, right? So the key is, how do you keep students engaged? Leadership, student success, those are very important, right? Because if I get involved in student leadership and I get involved in student groups, I'm going to probably stay involved in school. Think about it. If no one knows who I am, I'm a student, right? I'm a student now. No one knows who I am. I don't have any friends. I'm not involved in anything. College starts getting tough, which it will. I drop out. I'm out. Increased reputation. Can you, by going to the school, make the school more reputable? Because, hey, we're bringing this program. People love that. I used to have a business called the Extreme Entrepreneurship Tour. We would bring the Extreme Entrepreneurship Tour to campuses, and it was a big thing. We had a big tour bus, and we had all these different network of amazing young entrepreneurs. But a lot of universities would use that in their branding. We brought the Extreme Entrepreneurship Tour. It's the largest, at the time, it was the nation's largest entrepreneurship tour, right? And we got to bring in high-name people, at least in our world it was, right? So that increases their reputation. It makes them sound like they have great stuff going on. So if you can create a program that increases their reputation, that they can brag about you or brag about your programming or brag about how you cut down on bad things and increase good things, fantastic, fantastic, okay? And the third one is decrease institutional black eyes. That's your alcohol abuse, your rapes, your sexual assaults, your racial fights or experiences. So, by the way, you wouldn't want to say we help stop race wars, like that's not good, but saying we help increase diversity, that's great language, right? So anything you can do to decrease institutional black eyes. Unfortunately, statistically, there's tons of sexual assault, tons of alcohol abuse, tons of just bad things happen. Because you take a bunch of teenagers who've never been autonomous and you throw them in a place together with men and women and many times underage drinking and partying and hormones. It's just a concoction for things to go bad. So educating them on how to make good choices. You know, Greek institutions, hazing, for example, helping Greeks not to haze and understand why hazing is a bad idea. That will always be booked. Always, 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 right? Because it happens. If whatever you're speaking about, make sure you're speaking to these level of pain point, and you're going to be in a really great place. Okay? Now, these are some niches that I believe have the riches. Okay? Most college campuses, they're going to have one of these things consistently every semester, every year. Student leadership, student success, alcohol, sexual assault awareness, Greek life, anti-hazing, finances, also very important because a lot of students drop out because of money and not knowing what to do with money. So teaching them about money, very, very good. Dating, again, that comes to, I would say dating, healthy relationships. If you're looking for the riches in the niches, booyakasha. Okay, there you go. So all schools will have different types of groups that have these kind of departments. So if you put your brand together and you're speaking to them in a way that's talking to their problems and talking to these particular groups, they're going to be very attracted to you. Okay. This good, by the way? 1 and 2 good, because 3 is going to knock your socks off, people. That's my Bernie Mac impersonation. Anybody know Bernie Mac? This is going to knock your socks off, people. I don't know if that was good. I don't know if that was a good Bernie Mac. And if you don't know who Bernie Mac is, it just sounded like I was breathy. You know what I'm saying? Definitely rest in peace to Bernie Mac. Great comedian. Love that guy. All right. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. Okay. Dana, come on. Come on, Dana. I think that was a great Bernie Mac impersonation. Okay. Yeah, here's the slide. That's the slide right there. Okay. Go bang, bang. Screenshot that if you need to, because we got to move on for time's sake. Okay. Y'all got jokes. Y'all are funny. All right, I'll stick with a row. All right. Now, let me talk about some very simple secrets of positioning that are almost ninja level. Okay, this is going to be real good. And again, soon I'm going to show you about how to get that list of the people, the actual groups and organizations that book speakers, so you can take this to the next level. So stick with me. Okay, you guys having fun? Give another high five to yourself. Bye-ow! Do it. I don't care if your dog's looking at you and your dog's like, why are you just clapping so much? I'm not clapping. I'm giving a solo high five player, shoulder shrug, hit the nay-nay, dab. That's outdated. The dab is very outdated. I just did a very outdated thing. That's the funny thing. Adults still think the dab is cool. So they be running up in schools. They be like, ah! Kids be like, why are you doing that? Don't do that. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so let's say, for example, on your website, you say, I'm a leadership speaker. Are you a leadership speaker if you want to speak to students? Does anyone know the answer? So let's say on your website, you talk about leadership. You have incredible leadership. Are you a leadership speaker? No, you are not. You are a student leadership speaker. I kid you not. I kid you not. You got to use this language. Student leadership speaker. Okay. Are you a speaker on success? No. You're a student success speaker. You getting it? You're getting it? You're getting the positioning? Here's the thing. A lot of people, what they do is they have this general website or general marketing materials that talk about how you help people solve problems, or you help them with leadership, or you help them with, whatever it is, which is great. Like, do those things. If you want to attract schools and colleges to book you, you got to talk about the student life experience. And you have to position yourself as a student speaker. Now, you may say to yourself, but Arel, I want to speak to other niches. That's cool. Just on your website, have a drop down that says like colleges, high schools, or youth college, right? Youth college corporate, right? Have a drop down, or have a completely separate brand, right? I have two separate brands. Like I have my professional brand and my college brand, right? And I just send people to very different directions. So a lot of people don't even know the others exist. It just allows me to keep my messaging more clear, right? Because I'm like, a lot of you are probably like me. You have multiple things you can speak about. Like I wish I just spoke about one thing. Like there's some people, they just have one talk and they do one thing and they just do that over and over. Like I like talking about a bunch of things. Like I change my presentations up, I evolve over time, I become a different person. So I like having different things that I can talk about, right? So you want to make sure that you're speaking, whatever is your emails, your messaging, your marketing, your website, you have to talk about students. So if you say, hey, I can help you be a great leader, and leadership is so important, colleges may not respond to you. But if you can say, I can show you how to become a great student leader, and you speak to the student experience, you're running a group for the first time, you got to get people to show up. Like you want to understand the specific pains of what you're speaking about from the student perspective. So for example, from a student leadership perspective, many student leaders have no idea what they're doing. They get thrown in. They have no idea what their leadership style is. They have no idea how to actually run an organization. They can't get people to show up. They don't know how to run meetings. They don't know how to believe in themselves. They don't know how to talk up. Like, so I talk about, when you throw your meetings and people don't show up, you feel like quitting. We're going to show you how to throw meetings that people actually want to attend. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, but now I'm speaking their language. I'm speaking directly to them versus, blah. If I talk about success, I'm going to show you how to go after your goals. No, I'm going to show you how to go after your goals of graduating, right? I may teach the same thing, but I got to make sure I'm positioning myself so that I'm speaking to the student life experience. Does that make sense? If you want to speak at any college or any high school and you go on your website and you don't have the word student, school, graduation, college, or you don't have those words there, people are going to say, well, this isn't for me. And listen, I always make fun of my website. I've been making fun of my website for years. If you go to my website, it's not the greatest website, people. It's just not. But the languaging, the positioning, the marketing is very intentional. I swear to you, I'm going to change the website because I hate it myself. I look at it and I go, it's so ugly. But it works because the content works. I built it myself. That's how crazy. I'm not even a website developer, right? But if your messaging is right and your branding is right, it pulls people. Now, I also have the benefit that I've been doing this for 10, 11 years now. So I have a little bit of a brand because people have actually seen me. Because nothing is better than people seeing you speak, right? But luckily, as long as the positioning is right, things are great, okay? So I gave you everything you needed. What do you think? Do you think this has been helpful so far? For those of you who are like, yo, I want to build a stronger brand, you know now how to stop repelling them. You know how to find their pains and speak to them. And you know how to position yourself in the best possible light, okay? So that you can attract them. And then that's great. But look, here's the truth. You create all this great brand, but then what are you going to do? You're going to start screaming on a street corner, hey, everyone, look at my great brand. Are you going to have this website that nobody goes to? Are you going to have this information and not know how to position it? Because I can tell you, if you put it out to people and you're also not knowing who to reach, how to reach them, what's important to them, how to sell them, what price points to use, how to position your price points, how to put together your contracts and that stuff so that it's easy to work with, so they want to work with you. If you don't know how to speak to students and engage them, because speaking just as a talking head is one thing, but speaking to engage and bring people in is totally different. So for those of you who do want to take things further, I'm going to show you about something called our True Speaking Success System. It's our flagship online course, and let me explain to you why it's unique and all the cool things that it does, and then I'm going to show you how to get that link for the groups of speakers, okay? So the first module is called branding. We go even deeper with content and ninja strategies, with action guides and checklists and strategies to help you build everything you need to make your brand the best it can be to attract clients to book you to speak. And here's the good news. We talked about students on this particular webinar. We cover so much more. So if you want to speak to professionals, if you want to branch out to other, there's so many niches you don't even know. There's so many niches that pay and impact people and help people. It's amazing. There's a reason I've done over 1,000 presentations in my career. I don't focus on just one niche. There's a lot, okay? This is Gio DeReese. He's one of our really, really awesome members. He said I was able to get my first 5-figure speaking contract by applying what I learned in the TSS system. I was able to use his branding strategies to get published in the Huffington Post, which helps. We talk about how to get in the media and build that too. Featured on BET, and even got a testimonial from Brian Tracy. Super awesome, right? Then we go to module 2. I love module 2. This is the awesome module to me, right? We show you exactly what you need to do to get in front of clients and how to get them to want to book you when you're in front of them. We give you our simple to implement strategies that can produce 6-figure results, which includes our Golden Goose Strategy that shows you the pot at the end of the rainbow when it comes to speaking opportunities. There is a Golden Goose. I want you to imagine for a moment, this exists. There is something called Department of Education money, for those of you who like to speak to students. Okay, this is America, right? Department of Education. Hundreds, billions, I don't know how many, millions of dollars. Here's why I love Department of Ed. They're given money to these very specific institutions that work within schools, and they have to use the money. If they don't use it, they lose it. So I want you to imagine a group of people that get a bunch of money, and they say we have to use it to provide services for students, a lot of students who need it, low income, first generation, all across the board, Native American, all across the board, right? And they have to spend it. And here's the great news. The money is there to help people, and they need to partner with people like you and me. And regardless of who's the president, a lot of people were nervous in my world when Trump became president. They were like, yo, we don't know what his stance is on education. We don't know what Betsy DeVos, who's the Secretary of Education, what she's going to do. There was this whole panic because Obama era, everybody was like, yo, Department of Ed, we're good. We got so much funding. We're doing so much great work. You know what happened when Trump got involved? Whether you like the guy or not, you know what happened? They increased funding in a lot of programs. The programs that work get funding because they work. They're very regimented, and I give you a link of all of them. Their contact information, how much money they have, okay? Who are the people to get in touch with? What are their goals, their pain points, so you can reach out to them and dress. It's like, it's amazing. It's a golden goose. Honestly, it's a golden goose, okay? So here's what's cool. These are some other speaking contracts that I've gotten. These are actually checks that I've deposited, which has been pretty cool, right? And again, I want to be clear when I show money. I'm not saying that like you're gonna get this, like you're gonna start tomorrow and these are the checks you're gonna get. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this is what's possible. When you really start getting into your groove, when you really start solving problems for people, you can build wealth while doing good work. I work with a lot of low-income students. I work with a lot of first generation. I work with a lot of rural, a lot of suburban, a lot of inner city. I work with a lot of rich schools too, in rich areas too, for sure. But you can make an impact while making a great income, but this has to be the byproduct of it. You got to be willing to do the work. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to give you the path, but you got to walk it, okay? This is Tanya Rapley, one of our members, and I saw this post. I think she posted it like a day or so ago. She said she had some bad experiences speaking. She stopped. She decided to start speaking again in 2016. She got involved with our program in 2017. She says she committed to making speaking a major part of her business revenue. She ended up tripling her speaking revenue and closed out 2017 with speaking engagements in New York City, Miami, Florida, Puerto Rico, Manila, Philippines, and that's just for Q1 of 2018. Don't give up and be kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect, just committed. She is an amazing example of people who, when they are focused and they take action, good things happen, okay? Number 3, I love this one, okay? This is the third module. We show you a foolproof system for how to sell without being salesy, even if you hate sales. If you've ever been uncomfortable on the phone and you're not sure how to navigate a call, we show you exactly what to say so there's no sales pressure on the client and the client actually closes themselves. We show you how to maximize impact while maximizing profit. We have a system that's called the Super Sales Highway. Literally, it's a formulaic way, 7 steps. We call them exits on a highway. Because imagine when you get on a highway, you can only drive straight on a highway. And then you have different exits where you can get off. Literally, it's a straight drive until you get to the final destination, which is success. And you just have these exits along the way that you take people on. They're a systematic way of asking questions. You ask them, you shut up, they speak, and by the time you get to the done, you've naturally led them to let them say, how do we get a contract? It happens so much. It's a beautiful thing. And here's the best part. If you've ever felt uncomfortable, like, okay, because here's what happens to people. They do great branding, they get great marketing, the sales come in and then they're on the phone and they're like, well, what do I say? What do I charge? Book me. I don't know what about it. I don't want to be scummy. I don't want you to think I'm pressured. I don't know what to do. Imagine if you knew exactly what to do. I used to hate sales calls. I mean, I would actually hate sales calls so much. Tell me if you've ever done this. I would hate sales calls so much that I would actually call someone and pray they didn't pick up the phone. Because if they didn't pick up, I could be like, well, I called and they didn't pick up. Oh, well, done. Wasn't my fault. I did what I was supposed to do. Yippee. Yet you don't have any business. You're not impacting people and you're playing a smaller game in life. Imagine if someone could call you right now. Boom. Hey, Dana, real quick, I want to ask you a question about speaking. Oh, great. And then boom, boom, boom. You just walked them through a process. At the end, they were like, yeah, how do I send you a contract? What are our next steps? That's what the Super Sales Highway does. It works. It's incredible, people. It's game changing. This is Carlos Malave, which I love this. He said, I worked hard, I followed the system, and it worked. Arel Moodie, you are the truth. Shout out to you and the True Speaking Success system. Just booked my biggest engagement for $4,000. This is just the beginning. So happy for Carlos. Carlos is someone who works really, really, really well, okay? And he applies. Like, that's the thing I love about him. He takes action and he applies, right? Is there a pricing guide in the program? Yeah, Andre, there's a pricing guide. We show you what the prices are, and we got you covered with all that. Easy. Okay, number 4. So now you've got great branding, you're marketing, you're selling. Now you get clients. Here's what happens to a lot of people. They get overwhelmed. How do I run the business? A lot of us are solo entrepreneurs. We don't have a big company and a bunch of employees. How do you run your organization? We show you how to run your organization like a Fortune 500 company on a shoestring budget. We show you all the free tools you can use, how to automate stuff. We show you the exact services I use, how you can make them work for you, automate most of them, and provide the best experience possible for your clients so they love working with you and they want to book you again and again. So the key is to create a business that creates the lifestyle you want so that you're not a slave to your business. The business works for you. Or you don't work for your business, the business works for you. We give you the systems. And then finally, we show you the art of speaking. We show you how to deliver a wow presentation that knocks the socks off of your audience, leaves the host dying to rebook you and refer you to other people. We give you access to an entire presentation that I did, broken down in real time, so you know exactly what I'm doing to create a wow experience. I literally pull back the curtain like a Monday night quarterback, right? Like on ESPN when they show the game, they show, see how the quarterback did this and he did this and the guy pushed here, and they show you everything. I literally give you the full uncut presentation, and then I walk you through, here's why I'm doing this. Here's why I said this. Do you see why I brought this in? Now I'm bringing it back over here. Notice this person's not paying attention. Here's how I get their attention. We break down everything, okay? So the investment in the True Speaking Success system is $1,997, okay? Tons of people have purchased for that. Honestly, it pays for itself, in my opinion. Like you buy it once, and you get 1-2 speaking engagements, it pays for itself, right? It's absolutely, honestly, it's a steal at this rate, okay? So you can go to system.truespeakingsuccess.com, and you can order it right now for $1,997. But for the first 18 registrations today, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how you can get that for free. That's right. You can get it for free. Why would I do that? Arel, why would I do such a thing? I'm going to tell you why. Because it is an ethical bribe. I am being very transparent. I'm going to give you the system because I started an experiment that's been going really well, and I want to open it up just to 18 people. And let me explain what the experiment is. It's called the True Speaking Success Mastermind. The True Speaking Success Mastermind is something that I realized was missing. When I first started the program, the True Speaking Success System, the online course, it was just an online course. And I released it. And I said, here it is, okay? And I could see on the back end all the people that were actually using it. And what I noticed is that not everyone actually went through the whole thing. And it pissed me off because I was like, this is good stuff. I mean, think about yourself. If you can be honest, look at your bookshelf. How many books did you purchase, want to read, but didn't? How many courses have you bought? And you're like, oh, I'm going to read this course. It's got information. I don't want you to have information. I want you to have transformation. So here's what we do on the True Speaking Success Mastermind, okay? We do 2 live video conferences per month. One conference is on speaking skills. We show you how to become an incredible world-class presenter. I don't care how bad you are, how nervous you are. I don't care how good you think you are. There are specific things you can do to become world-class elite status. I'm talking about you step into any room, any stage, any event, any audience, and you crush it every time. It flows. They remember your message long after it's over. We show you how to do that once a month. I interact with you live. We do a live interaction, and you can see here we have a ton of content that we've already done, right? Then we do the second one, which is business-based. We show you the skills of running a successful speaking business. This isn't all just rah-rah. We get you hyped. We make sure your mind is in the right place. It's very important your mind's in the right place. But we give you practical skills. We give you email templates. We give you conferences to go to. We give you sales strategy, marketing strategy, in-depth. This is not information, folks. This is transformation. And as a mastermind member, you get this. And here's also what we do. There's a live event that I hold called the True Speaking Success Summit. It's a live event. We bring people together. It's incredible, incredible experience. We bring in some incredible speakers who give you high-level stuff. This content is just game-changing. And I can tell you, I love doing the video conferences. There's nothing like meeting in person. We do it for 3 days. It's all content, all cool. And we've done cool things at our summit. Like things we've done in the past is we've actually recorded people's demo videos, right? So we got them on stage and they got to speak with like beautiful like backdrop, audience members, screens. So for anyone who didn't have a demo video, they got a demo video, right? We're gonna be doing things like I have a goal of doing cool, really, really cool stuff. I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but like headshots and logos and websites and like doing all of it for you at the event. Like there's so big vision I have for it. So the live events are incredible, right? We give you access to all of our previous mastermind content. We call it the Mastermind Vault. So we have tons of content in our online course. You can click on them. We've got the full video, full audio. So if you're listening to it while you're running or something, that's cool. We give you a transcription of it in case you like reading it. Here's my favorite part. We do a summary of it. This is why this is big. You may look at like the past year of content we have and say, Arel, there's no way I'm gonna consume all this content and keep up with the twice a month that you're doing. We create these really intense but effective summaries that kind of takes out all of the fluff and just gives you, here's the biggest things we focused on. So you can read those in a few minutes. They can be reference guides. We have a really cool thing that we did recently, one of our members, on the niche of credit unions. Credit unions are a huge niche that no one ever talks about. They have tons of money. They love doing good work and helping the community. And we showed you everything you need to do to get in with them, how to position it, and there's a lot of things that will turn a credit union off real quick and they won't even listen to you. And we show you exactly how to get in with them. So we have all these different niches. It's an incredible group of people. And what we also do are our in-person mastermind retreats. So these are for members only. These aren't things that we promote to the general public. So this is just for the community itself. We go into beautiful locations and we work together on your goals. Intimate, so you get the attention and the care that you need and you want, right? You leave with your specialized plans. You get to connect with other people there. It's truly just like meeting all the members in person after we build incredible relationships online. And then when we come together, it's something like you have to be there to experience it. We have the private online Facebook group. This is where you can get support 24/7 from your associate members and myself. So if you have any questions, you can post, hey, people say, could you review this? I review it, other people review it. This is where you leverage the power of the mastermind, okay? So in total, you get the 2 live trainings, which is per month for the year is a $6,000 value. You get admission to our 3-day True Speaking Success Summit, which is a $1,000 value. Admission to our in-person retreats, another $1,000 value. Facebook group, $500. True Speaking Success System online course, $2,000. Access to the Mastermind Vault of all past content for easy consumption with our summaries, $3,000. And as a special bonus, which I didn't include here, but I'm adding it for everyone who registers today, a part of those 18 people, we have an online course that shows you how to write and publish your book in a way that gets you speaking business. So we show you the quickest, fastest way to get your book done. If you have a book inside of you and you haven't got it out yet, I show you exactly how to do it real fast, real effective, and how to get speaking engagements because of your book. If you have a book and it's not producing the results you want, you're definitely going to want to probably write a second one using our strategies because we show you how to do it. Then we show you how to get in with publishers, big publishers. We show you how to work with boutique publishers and how to self-publish it. We break down everything that you need to truly create just an incredible experience for you. I'm going to throw that in. It's a $15,000 value pretty much. And the investment is just $300 a month. That's it. And for any of you who are like, listen, damn the tax man, and I don't like where these taxes are going, and you're trying to get your tax situation under control, and you're trying to get some more expenses on your books before 2017 ends, for here you can pay for a year up front, and we're going to give you 2 months free, which is a $600 savings. So it'll be $3,000 for the year. So you'll save $600. You get 2 months free if you want the pay upfront option, or you can just pay as you go for $300 a month. So I'm going to put the list. This is the website. Okay. So if you go to truespeakingsuccess.com/join, you can join right now. I'm going to put that link in the chat. I just put the link in the chat there. We're only accepting 18 people. And this isn't like a thing that I'm lying about, or how other people say, we're only accepting 50 people and they accept 50,000. Like literally, we do intensive work with all of our members. We purposely keep it like intimate for a reason. So I'm accepting 18 more people and we're gonna stick to it like that. So if you wanna get in, jump on it right now. You go to truespeakingsuccess.com/join. There's a big button that says join now. Click that button. Enter in, choose whichever option is best for you. The economical option is going to give you $300 a month. If you like saving money and you want to get some of those extra tax savings in, obviously consult your tax professional. We can give you the upfront payment. You can get that really good hit and you're good for the whole year. But I want you to think about it like this, okay? You don't join this if you think I'm going to do the work for you. You don't join this if you think paying me is somehow solving any of your problems. It's not. This is not for anyone who's going to whine, complain, expect someone to do everything for them, say, well, I paid for the mastermind, how come it's not working? It's like someone who pays for a gym membership and doesn't go and then says the gym doesn't work. No, the gym works, you don't work. I really can't stress this enough. One of my presentations that I teach, because I believe in it, is called Effort is Everything. It's one of the student presentations I do. It's the key phrase. I'm a big believer in hard work. I work really, really, really hard. I don't want people who don't believe in that. If you want something that's easy or something that's like cake, I can't help you. I really, really can't. But if you put serving people first and you care about the people that you're going to help more than you care about yourself, you're going to be in a great place. And we're going to show you how to do it. And I want you to think about lifetime value. One 2 speaking engagements. It'll pay for your entire year of membership. And then everything after that, pretty much gravy. It's gravy. So I want you to get as fast as you can to that first or second presentation, right? Like get booked, get it paid for, get the year cover as soon as possible, and then everything else is just bonus, and then build and stack and stack and stack upon it, right? We've had people who literally in 2 presentations made more than they had in their previous year because they were doing a bunch of $100 free presentations, and you get, learn how to get some big bank. All of a sudden, it's pretty exciting stuff. So I don't want you to think like scarcity. I want you to think like an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs always think lifetime value. For example, one of my clients brought me in for 10 years. When they first brought me in 10 years ago, they paid me $3,000. And I said, hey, as long as you keep bringing me in, we'll pretty much keep it at the same rate. So they brought me in twice a year for 10 years at $3,000. And it's local. It's not a flight or anything like that. It's driving distance. That's $60,000. Is it worth keeping that person at $3,000 if the lifetime value is $60,000? Yeah, absolutely. And I love the person. I genuinely love the person. I care about them. Like you have to care and think differently. So let me answer some questions that might be jumping into your head. Okay. And again, for any of you who say, wait, where'd the link go? Just click on the chat. The link is in the chat. You just click on it and you can register. Again, the first 18 people, after the 18 people hit, it will shut down and you'll see it shut down. Okay. So if you say, well, I don't have the money, I would like for you to think of it like this. If money is your issue, then you can't afford not to do this. Your biggest regret is that you're not going to do this, because in 2018, you have to make this year better. You just have to. 2018 needs to be the best year of your life. It just does. Like, you should never peak. You should never be one of those people who's like, oh, high school was the best years of my life. No, the year that's about to be in front of you, that's the best year of your life, right? I want this program to pay for itself. I want you to get the support. I want you to finally get around to people who know you, because, like, yo, frankly speaking, you're weird. I'm weird. People who want to do this kind of work, we're weird. People don't get us. You're surrounded by all these people who just don't get, like, they just want to watch silly videos online and talk gossipy about people and talk about why this person and the Kardashians are ruining people but aren't doing anything about it. Being around people that get you, that understand you, that support you, that will hold you accountable. We have members right now, they're holding each other accountable to finishing their book by the end of 2017. We got a couple of days left, and they're grinding with each other to get it done. That support will kick you in your pants and be around the people you need. And we have the live events and the online community. It's gonna push you to take the actions that you know you should be taking, you just haven't taken yet. It will pay for itself. If you're someone who's saying to yourself, Arel, but I'm brand new, like, I don't want to feel like I jump in and everyone overwhelms me. You're going to get the foundation laid out for you in a way that you can build something that's epic from the beginning. So many people that come to me have spent years doing it wrong and then go, man, I wish I would have known this when I got started. Like, I love hearing that because I know that we're creating a smooth pathway. And for those of you who are like, Arel, but what if I'm already established? Like, can you really teach me anything I don't know? I would say trust your gut on it. I mean, I genuinely believe the content that, I've spent literally 11 years of my life just doing this. Like, I'm passionate about this. This is what I wake up, I dream about it, I read about it, I talk to people about it. I'm constantly looking for angles and new strategies, 1% improvements. It's been my obsession. We will absolutely take you. If you're good, you'll go to great. And we actually find people who are actually doing well, and you got some momentum, we kind of get you in the right direction. We got one of our members who she's been crushing it, and she's just seen an incredible increase, right? And she's doing now she's doing stuff that is not connected to just her speaking. She has other stuff that she never even thought about before that we helped her create. So we can help take you to the next level in a lot of different ways. So I encourage you to remember, what you put out is what comes back. If you want to tell the universe, you want to tell God, I want to create a big year, put your money where your mouth is. I believe there's something called God winking, right? I don't know what your belief system is. I believe in God. If you don't, that's cool. I'm not judging you. This is my thing, right? This is what I believe in. I believe that whenever we say we want something, God winks at you, right? So for example, if you say, yo, I want to make 2018 the best year of my life, right? This is the link right here, right? So you say, I want to make 2018 the best year of my life. I'm going to do whatever it takes. God winks and goes, oh, word? Okay, so maybe God puts you on this webinar that maybe you wouldn't have been on before, and you're on it. And it's like, all right, here it is. Here's the information. Take this information, and it's going to absolutely help you. If you believe in your heart, it's going to help you. Take it and go. And then you go, nah, I'm not ready to do that. well then, what are you putting out there? You're putting out, I don't really believe in myself. So you want others to believe in you, but you don't believe in yourself. It's called a karmic boomerang. I tend, whenever I say something like, I'm not eating sweets anymore, I'm going to cut down on my pies and cakes, the very next event I go to has free pies and cakes from like a gourmet chef. This guy going, word? You ain't going to eat cakes? Let's see. You know, I say things like, yo, I'm going to wake up early. That's it. I'm going to go to sleep early and wake up early tonight. You ever say that? Like, tonight, I will go to sleep early. And guy goes, word? I'm going to put this really awesome thing on TV. See if you watch that or go to sleep. And you go, oh, this is awesome. It's just a test. And you got to ask yourself, are you willing to let yourself stop failing the test and start pushing yourself further to create greatness? If you are, I invite you to be a part of this. I invite you to bet on yourself, to trust in your gut, to say, this is something I will do because I believe in myself, because I believe what I can do in the world, but most importantly, this is bigger than me. You gotta have belief in yourself, but for me, we call it a message magnet in the inner circle when you're part of the TSS tribe. Your magnet has to be, your message has to be so important to you that it's bigger than you, that it's gonna pull you to take action even when you don't want to. So again, go to TRUESPEAKINGSUCCESS.com/join, okay? You'll get all the information you need about the mastermind. Once it hits 18, it's set to stop. So I think we're gonna set the deadline for the 1st because we're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff starting January 1st. And it's gonna be a lot of things that if you're not involved with us starting January 1st, you're gonna get lost in the sauce. So we wanna get everyone involved. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, Arel, I wanna join, I also want that list, man. Like, where's that list of the 19 groups that book speakers? Well, guess where it is? It's on that link. So if you go to TRUESPEAKINGSUCCESS.com/join, on that link, not only will you have the opportunity to enroll in the mastermind, and you'll also have the opportunity to download the link totally for free. You just go to that website, you'll see this little image here, just boop, give it a little clicky click, and you'll download it, and it'll give you the list of the people. You'll know how to put your brand in front of these folks. And then once you get involved with us and you get your marketing game right, you know how to reach them, you know how to actually sell them, because the worst thing to do is to have great branding and then they get you on the phone, it's total letdown, and then they don't believe you. Because a lot of times what happens is when we're on the phone, we have this great image online and they are expecting a certain experience, and then they get you on the phone and they're kind of let down. They're like, oh man, that's not what I expected, and I don't trust this anymore. You got to know all of the steps, and we give you everything. And here's the key. This is not about information. This is about transformation. This is about making sure that you not only get the information you need, but you get pushed, you get held accountable, and you move toward your goal. 2018 is going to be a big year for our members. I think the biggest year ever. I really, really do believe that. I'm putting in a lot of steps to make this a bigger year, to make this more effective. I'm constantly thinking about now, like my current obsession is how do I make the members succeed at a higher rate? How do I make them more successful than me? How do I make them the most successful that they've ever been? Click on the Join Now button. You can also get the list of the 19 people right then and there on the link. And I truly believe that all of us are just one presentation away from changing our lives. You are awesome. Psh. That was a high five. High five the screen, people. High five the screen. Do it. Okay. I'm out of here.